welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be drawing a girl in a dress inspired by Blackberry pie. I got this prompt from Lord Grist. She has done a grist feast where you do draw a whole bunch of different types of foods. And I have only done a handful of them, and I'm gonna show them right on the screen right here. And what I have to really say is that I really enjoyed doing the Pineberry girl. I just really love the way I did her dress. It's like so fluffy, and like the sleeves, I just really like that. And the color palette, how I did the ombre on her dress, I just thought that was just really cute. I was just like so proud of this drawing. And for the sketch right here, to be honest, this sketch honestly was giving me the blues, because the reference that I had used, the girl was wearing not a skin tight dress, but like an A-line dress, or a dress that was more flowy. So I couldn't really tell what the body proportions were. So I had to pretty much imagine it in my head on my own. But for the most part, I think the pose worked out really well at the end. At this point, I was still debating whether or not I should keep the pose or like do another one. But no, I said I'm just gonna keep this pose. I think it'll work out at the end. I just gotta keep going. And so, yeah. And so here we go, sketching the eyes. So at first, I had drew the eyes too small. It just did not look right at all. So I ended up enlarging them, and I felt like that just fit the face proportions way better. It is way better. And here I'm starting to draw the outfit, and my inspo for this outfit was a Lolita dress. I thought that would really be cute to draw. I had actually never drawn a Lolita dress before, and this was actually kind of a challenge for me. I mean, not so much, but I actually found it quite easy to draw. This dress, I got the reference from Pinterest, and I honestly think Pinterest is the best app for references or inspo. It's a really easy app to use. And here I go drawing the dress. Now this part I had to be more precise with it because it was kind of looking a little funky at first, but I eventually got it. And I have to say, my favorite part of sketching this dress was drawing the ruffles. I really enjoy drawing ruffles. I don't know what it is, but depending on the ruffles that you do draw, you can actually kind of be free with them. And as you see here, I actually had to enlarge the ruffles because I made it too small. Because on the reference, they were actually larger, or longer, not shorter. But yes, it was just my favorite part. I just love ruffles. And here we go with the hair. The hair was kind of difficult for me to do. I actually had to redraw it several times because I was like, I don't know what hairstyles I exactly want for this look. I had done bangs for her at first, and then I done short hair, shorter length hair, longer hair, twin tails. I wasn't really sure what to do, so I cut that footage out because it would make the video more lengthy. But I came to a conclusion that I want to do this cute fluffy ponytail. I just thought it just really fit the look really nicely, and plus with the bow on top of her head. And here we go to the shoes. I actually had to look up references for the shoes. I just looked up Lolita shoes, you know, shoes that Lolitas would wear. And I found a lot of lace shoes that had lace, and I thought it would be really cute to add to this design. And you'll see me in a bit put lace on the borders of the shoes. Here we go with the line art. Now, what I have to say about doing line art traditionally is that it's kind of a little bit more tough than doing it digitally. Because on digital, I have my stabilizer on, which makes all my lines smooth and neat. But when you're doing it traditionally, sometimes your lines can look a little bit ragged, but you have to really have a lot of control with your hands. And here, I'm just tracing the arms for now. And then I went on ahead and started chasing the dress. And I paused on the fingers, on the hands, because I wanted to really focus on those, like really have a steady hand with those. So I just continued with the dress, since it was just an easier part to just get finished first. And I was just so excited to outline the ruffles. And I also had to draw this little lace detail on the other side. I had forgot that in the sketch. And here I go with the hands. Now, drawing the hands was a little bit tricky. I had to be more steady because my hand tends to shake sometimes. But I honestly had to speed this part up really, really fast because it did take me forever, a little bit longer to really do the hands. And now I am just erasing the piece, sorry for the shaking, that's just my camera shaking, and on to the coloring. And for this color right here, I had used a Copic sketch marker, and the color is Floral White E00000. That's a lot of zeros. And for the dress part, on the out part of the dress, I used an E21. I thought that color would really fit the color for like the pie crust. And the color that I'm using right here for the ruffles is E04 Lipstick Natural. I use this color so the ruffles can have a pink hue to them. Later, I'm going to add BV00 Mauve Shadow over it to give it more of a purplish tint. I think these two colors mixed really well. It really gave me the colors that I was looking for the ruffles. So for the inner part of the dress, I used BV04 Blueberry color, and I really was not liking the color at first. So I went over it with the E04 again, and it still wasn't really giving me that exact color that I used, and I just wasn't not liking that part. And so for the bow, I just went over it with the E04. And for this bigger bow down here, I used BV04, and I was not liking how that was looking either. So eventually later, I had went over it with a different color. And I went over the bow with the BV02 to give it the same color as the ruffles at the bottom. And for the hair, I used the BV04. I just thought it would look really cute on the hair instead of the bow. But for the hair, definitely, it really added a nice touch. I used the same color that I used on the dress, E21, but I wasn't liking how bright it was looking, so I colored the bottom of the shoes a darker color, just so it can have some contrast. And the lace on the shoes is the same color as the ruffles on the dress. To be honest, I really was thinking about honestly giving up on this drawing, just because I was really not liking the colors at all, how they all really came together. But I knew as soon as I was gonna start shading, I figured, oh, probably looking really, really nice after I start shading. And the color that I'm shading with is an E00. And the second color that I am shading with is YR00. And the color that I used to shade the ruffles, I used BV04. I figured that would be a really, really nice color to go against the mixture of colors that I used for the ruffles. And already, just from doing this little bit of shading, I was starting to actually love the dress. And for the color that I used for this part of the dress, I used BVO8. And already I was starting to like the middle, because at first I said I didn't really like how it was going, but after shading, it looks really, really nice. Much better. The color that I used to shade here is BVO4. And you'll notice right here with the bow, it looks lighter, but I had used my colorless blender to go over it because I just did not like that bluish color. So I went over it with the EO4 to match the color of the ruffles. I thought that would look better. And the color that I went over, the lighter part of the dress, is E04. And I used BVO4 to shade on the bow. And for the hair, the darkest color that I used is BVO8. And I went over the hair with RV24. And for a medium shade for the hair, I went over it with BVO4. And at this point, I'm just shading the ruffles darker just to give it more depth. And for the shoes, I shaded with the same colors that I did for the light part of the dress. And then for the mouth, I used an R20 for the mouth. And then for the eyes, I continued with a BVO4 and used E04 to go over it a little bit. And then I shaded with the darkest color, BVO8. And then for the rest of this video, I'm just going to be highlighting everything with colored pencils just to brighten things up. And then I'm going to be drawing some blackberries on the top right and the bottom left. And then I'm going to be highlighting the eyes with my white gel pen. So that's all I pretty much have to say for this video. Hope you guys all have a blessed day and see you soon. Bye!